Hi, my name's Kayla, and I'm not gonna do one of those intro things because what? I don't get it. I'm having a hard time figuring out, like, to be honest, I'm keeping my hair in front. I'm having a hard time figuring out what to post, what to share. And I think the reason I'm having a hard time with it is because I know what I want to post and what I want to share. And I think I talked about this in a video that I haven't shared, and I might share it before this. So, basically what I'm trying to get at is we're going into the heart space and we're going to let whatever freak flag shit, pardon my French, that wants to come out, okay? I think my goal with these, I don't have a goal. I'm just talking. But as I'm talking, what it's feeling like is, right, like I don't want to just sit and do, even though that stuff's cool. And I want to talk about it in a way that explains what the heck is going on. Because it was just a little over a year ago that I was like, what? And I think if you were someone, I think I keep being placed around people who, I think I want to explain things from a perspective of if you have no idea what we're talking about, and obviously this stuff looks crazy and insane, I think that's who I'm talking to. No, I'm talking to anyone and everyone. I'm not just multidimensional, I'm multifaceted. You're not just multidimensional, you're multifaceted. I messed up my speech there. Okay? So I don't know. So this might just be some storytelling. This might just be some channeling. This might be some, I don't know. I'm just kind of right now sitting in my heart. Well, I'm trying to get to my heart, but I'm being stared at. Grosso shortes ish la tagrasa kush orto oaya. O shkroto ortes kiakal alla torto shkrotorto. Let's start with that, right? I feel like when people see light language, they assume it's being channeled, which, I mean, it is. When I'm just doing that, it is and it isn't. There are different forms of light language that come through for different reasons. When I just sit still and I start to go into like a meditation or whatever, or even just sit still long enough, like, or when I'm driving in the car, it just starts happening. And like I'll be moving. What it's doing is I don't need, it's not from outside of me. It's my intuitive way of regulating my system, tuning my field, stabilizing myself into a structure that feels good. Like that's what's happening some of the time when it just starts going. So there's that. I found that out the other day. I came out here. I've been having a hard time getting into a flow. I moved to upstate like a couple months ago. And I have a housemate, and it's just been such a magical, like, divinely led situation. But, you know, I'm used to being alone a lot. And so I'm like, where can I go to do my freak shit? And she has a guest house, and over here, well, like an Airbnb, and over here, no one's in it. And so I'm just over here down by the creek now, where I could do my weird stuff freely, and the only risk is, you know, someone walking by, which they do, but we don't care anymore. Whatever, you know. Anyway, I started coming out here. I'm like, oh yeah, it's such a new habit. It's happened like twice the last 2 days in a row, 3 days maybe. And I'll sit down and it'll just start. The first day it just started happening right away, and I was having emotion, and I was like, stop. What is happening? Like, what is going on right now? Who is in my channel? And they're like, no, they showed me this image where like I stood up and I could look down at the situation, and it's me in the center, and it was my guides around me sending love in. But I was the only one doing the light language, the coding, the adjustments, the stabilizing, all that stuff. It's just me. It's aspects of me that I've tapped into that specializes in that type of thing. That's how I regulate. That's just like who I am outside of this incarnation. And so they specifically showed me like the only work we're helping you with right now is sending in love, because I needed to feel safe to feel emotion. And so they're like, all you need to do is let down your walls so you can feel the love we're sending in, and then floodgates will be open. So it's a really pretty moment. I looked at 555. Changing time, changing. Anyway, that's not to say that when I'm doing sessions, it's not channeled. It is. Number one, it's channeled from higher self, other multidimensional aspects, which all of you have. Maybe we talk about that. For today, for now, whatever this is, it's just going to be chaotic until I feel comfortable, and then maybe we'll build structure around it. But the natural stuff that just starts going is, I forget what I was saying. I think I said enough. Anyway, I think what I want to start doing is, like I was saying, like bridging the gap between the weird stuff, the channeling, the light language, the coding, the aliens, the angels, and normal people. And by normal people, I just mean, again, me like a year ago. Like people that, obviously this stuff is odd. It's weird. It's out of the norm. And it's normal for it to be looked at as a little crazy. But hey, I like a little crazy. Okay? And it's also very real. And that just, those are just the facts. Now, I guess it doesn't have to be the facts for you in your reality, but it is the facts for me in my reality. I do believe it will become the facts for more and more people in their reality as we continue down this line of quote unquote ascension. There, I said it. I've been having a hard time using that word as of late because I found myself in a new community that is spiritual. And I don't know if I've talked about this before, but the way this all started for me, and maybe next one I'll share the story. The way this started for me was more, it was spiritual for a tiny bit amount of time, but it was far more metaphysical and like quantum physicsy and like pretty much straight to cosmic remembrance versus spirituality and sort of like, I don't know, like we still talk about the karmic game. There's just a distinct difference. You know what I mean? But really, there's not. We're all kind of talking about the same thing. But I've been finding it hard to, since I've been in this community or space, I think I'm worried of being judged because the alien stuff or the, you know, channeling or the quote-unquote ascension might seem frivolous to some. But I'm kind of just at the place now where I don't really have any more of an option. Like, that is my reality that I was exposed or opened up to pretty immediately following my quote-unquote, again, awakening. And so it is what it is. And I think there's room for all of these different perspectives and opinions and ways of looking at it. And I especially am excited to learn more of the spiritual side of it, the reverent side of it, the sacred side of it. Because, again, I just was kind of plopped into the meta stuff, and they intrinsically go hand in hand. They're, you know, you can't have one without the other. They're just simply different, maybe, lenses of experiencing it. Am I making sense? We're just thinking for a second, who is this for? But it doesn't matter. If anything, this is just I need to do this to begin to come to an understanding of how I want to be showing up and how I want to be helping people and how I want to feel comfortable explaining the work I do. Because if I just go from nothing to here's what I'm doing, it's like, what are you talking about? Because I've never really shared really what I'm doing in sessions. I've never talked about it in a way that actually encompasses all of what it is. And that's partially because it shifts and it adjusts. And I think a lot of us are waking up to more, I don't even, if you want to call it gifts, sure, whatever. But when you tap into your multidimensionality, you remember more of what you specialize in or skills you have outside of just this incarnation. They just naturally kind of turn on. And so, and they don't have to all look like weird shit. They can just be as simple as, like, maybe outside of this incarnation, maybe on a soul level, you are just like like really amazing at nurturing and making people feel safe and making people feel comfortable. And as you sort of break down your 3D programming more and more, you can embody that more and more. And so it doesn't have to all be quote unquote gifts. It's just like more of your truth. And this is just my truth. The weird shit. Yeah, I'm a freak, I'm a lover, I'm a child, I'm a mother. This is going good. My heart's starting to feel lighter because I feel like, my brain's starting to feel lighter. I feel like this is how I need to converse in order to get to a place where I feel like, okay, now we're moving. I need it all out there. I don't care if no one watches this. God. I wish I could go like swing on these branches like Tarzan. Okay, now I was gonna do something. I was talking about something. Oh, I mean, I think all I was saying was, yeah, I just want to get to a place where I feel totally comfortable letting it all out there. My phone ran out of storage. That'll happen again, but whatever. You know what I think it might be? Has anyone here done their gene keys? When my hands started moving and when I opened up to like, oh, wait a second, whoa, what the frick? Like a year and a half ago, one of the first things that was brought to my attention, probably like 4 months after that, were the gene keys. And there was so much, like with regards to more on like the healing side of things. Because right, like it happened to open my eyes. And then I was like, and then you're just kind of led down. It's like the big expansion happens. And then it's like, okay, now we need to do the healing work. Because a bunch of stuff's going to try to come up now to be released. Anyway, the gene keys, if you haven't done them, were awesome. And I need to look into mine again. But in my, whatever this sphere is, if you know the gene keys in the activation sequence, the second one. Mine is in the 26th, which is the shadow frequency of pride. Each sphere that's prominent within your profile basically is like, there's a shadow frequency of it, there's a gift frequency of it, and then there's like a city frequency of it. And so it's sort of like, when you're talking about like a timeline, right? We're talking about which frequency you plugged in at. And so, you know, it's kind of like looking at all the different shadow aspects of it and working to understand them, transmute them into the gift frequency, and trying to maintain living, operating from that place, from that, you know, frequency bandwidth. Okay, I was watching this and I take that back. I want to add something. Not that this matters, Caleb. It does, okay? When you're doing your gene keys, it's not like you're trying. There's no prize for, oh, I transmuted all of my shadow frequencies into the gift frequency. That's not what, I don't like the way that she phrased that. And I just want to correct it because you should live within the shadow aspect of it and learn what you wanted to learn from it in order to fully be able to access the gift, the light that lives within the darkness that is that shadow frequency. Okay? And I feel like the way I phrased it was like it's some sort of competition or like race to transmute all of them, which sure, obviously you want to do that because it feels better to move and live from the gift frequency bandwidth. But I want to make it clear that it's not like we're all humans doing the human thing. And so you should be able to dance in the darkness of it too, to understand it, okay? Over and out. Anyways, the shadow frequency of pride. And so I do think I have this thing of like, I'm afraid that like other people in the spiritual community that aren't in the quote unquote ascension, alien stuff, whatever, or people that aren't in this at all, I guess that I'm afraid that they're gonna think that they're like not pulling one over on me, but that they're like, oh, she just doesn't know. Like they think I'm being taken for a ride or something. And so it's been important for me to, right, that's like in a form, it's like doubt. So it's been important for me to be like, Kayla, I know for sure this is real because I'll be pulled back to experiences I've had. And there's no other, I mean, at this point now, it's as real as anything else I've experienced. It's as real as, honestly, it's more real now than like touching this blade of grass. I mean, they're both equally real, but it's like this is just as much of a dream as being out there. And these are all fun things we could talk about. And a lot of us know that, which is why I'm saying, I guess I feel like I'm talking to people who don't know that. Not that they don't know it. It's not like I know something you don't know. It's just like, I want to share my experience because I want to. And maybe it'll help someone. God, there's a lot of flies. That's crazy. Orshete gratakas ortogros ortetish grati ialatas groto orteshisi kiakrat ortesh grati ushgrus ortesh iki artes isi ki artes orteti. The other reason I wanted to like share that is that because all the time when I just randomly start doing that, I don't want to just randomly ever start doing like light language in a way that's for someone else without announcing it first so that you can use your discernment to decide if that's something you want. Do you want to receive work from me or not? You don't, I'm never going to be like, here, take this. So that's why I think it's important to note, like when I just sat down to this and like tuned back in, this is just my process for like, it's not going outside of me. It's just my process for tuning in, connecting more with my heart, with my multidimensionality, and potentially anyone that we want to channel. So that's all that's happening. So if I randomly start doing that, you don't have to be like, no. And if you're new to this and you're like, what are you talking about? A lot of people, the way that they use light language is for like activations, right? It can activate remembrance. It's coding that can activate remembrance within you, within your cells, within your DNA, within your genetics, which is another thing we'll talk about because that is what these Syrians are great at. That's what I'm doing in sessions. It's mitochondria stuff, DNA structure stuff, like literally cells. I'll see cells that are dead and we'll like revitalize them, or I'll see DNA that we're like expanding. We'll like expand the mitochondria so that it can like balance the fluid. We'll like, I don't know, expand things that I don't know right now because they tell me as we're doing it. And I'm kind of a scientist, technically. Kind of. Okay, that's beside the point, you guys. Hey. What was I saying? I looked at 555 again. No, seriously. What was I saying? Oh, just like about what it is. Yeah. And so a lot of time when people are sharing light language, it's like you should use discernment if that's something you want to receive from someone or not. What do I mean by using discernment? Kayla, don't answer every question. You don't know who's watching this. Anyway, let's see. While we're here, right? I mean, might as well maybe channel something. But no, but I do have, here's the other thing we need to figure out, you guys. And I almost just said forgive me. You don't have, I'm not asking for forgiveness here. In order for me to process how I want to structure my offerings, how I want to structure, including like Patreon, how I want to structure what I'm sharing on the internet that doesn't cost money. Because like it or not, you guys, I quit my job. And like it or not, I don't know why am I like doing that whole kind of bit thing? Because I feel fine with charging for my services, because damn right I'm charging for my services. What do you mean? Until we're in a new, right now money is simply just energy. And so yeah, there has to be an energetic exchange. And I don't know why, it just didn't feel true to me. I started to like argue that. But like, who am I arguing against? I'm arguing against a perspective that I think is yelling at me like, that's the other one of my gene keys that I have twice, the shadow of opinion. It's all over the place. Ugh. Anyway, I have to talk out loud to figure out how to structure my Patreon, my offerings, how to talk about those things, what to share for free. Like what to just share in general. So that's what's happening right now. Wait, what was I going to say? Oh, I was going to say, so should we bring through something channeled? Which I think now that this is happening, maybe we do like an actual series where we not answer, but like I'm just going to kind of talk about whatever I feel like talking about. Is that a podcast? I don't know. You know what's confusing to me? Podcasts now are just like YouTube videos, but everyone has a microphone. I mean, right? So, and like instead of just monetizing it via YouTube, you monetize it by like having a sponsor. But it's still just on, yeah, whatever. Okay. So that's a maybe, Kayla. You don't have to think like that in this moment. We're just kind of riffing. Speaking of riffing, you guys, can I tell you a story? And then maybe we'll bring through some channel info. I don't know. Phone right out of storage again. All right, the story I was going to tell is that I'd been receiving messaging around, I don't think just from stuff I channeled, stuff that my friends channeled too that I listened to, and I was like, ooh, that resonates. That like through the rest of July, it's almost like there would be opportunities coming in to step into an expanded version of self. It's one of those things where, oh my God, there's a turtle. It's one of those things where manifestations, quote unquote, might come to you, but they might come to you in the form of you needing to actually like step up and embody the opportunities that come in order to stabilize it into your field. Right? If you've been like, for example, I'd been asking for, because like I just want to feel like fully myself, like a badass mother, like fully empowered in my essence, whatever. And earlier this week, what is today, Sunday? So last week, a new friend of mine within my new community was like, there's open mic. I'm going to go do a couple songs. Now, if you know me, I do instruments, I do sing, but that was always something, like I did play in a band, but that was a total accident. Don't know, at that time I should not have been in that band. Now I could be and could play, but at the time getting up and singing in front of people always terrified me, unless I'm drunk karaokeing, or now just karaokeing for fun. But I'd never gotten up by myself with a guitar, with a mic, and sang in front of people. And I knew I would shake. Actually, I did have a solo in like the 7th grade musical, and I shook the whole time. Right? Fear of being seen, okay? And so we get there. I was like, oh, but I'm going to be totally fine. Like, I'm such a different person now. I don't care. I'll totally get up and do it. It's not about how, like, I don't care if it's good or not. I just want to do this for myself. Like, because it's fun, right? That's why I want to do it. And I get there. It was kind of a lot of people. And I immediately started shaking, not in a fun way. And I was like, oh, I'm bailing for sure. I was like, oh, I'm not going to sign up yet. I'll see. And mind you, I haven't played the guitar. I don't have an acoustic here anymore. So that was another thing. Like, I actually couldn't practice. So I was just going to make something up. Bear with me. I'm not really great at telling stories. And I don't need to tell the full story. My only point is I did end up doing it. I did turn it into like a half stand-up bit, and like I made people stop. I was like, hey, it's my first time. Hey, guess what? I'm nervous. Hey, guess what? We are going to stop as much as we need to throughout this until I stop shaking. And so after each verse, I'd stop and I'd be like, okay. You feel a little better, huh? You know? So I turned it into a whole thing, and I was really proud of myself. And I guess my point with that is just, I actually wasn't that proud of myself, because afterwards I remember being like, Kayla, say good job to yourself. That was a big deal. You were nervous about it. But it's more so just like, why do we ever let fear stop us from doing things that we think are fun? Like, why did I want to do that? It doesn't really matter why. I did want to. And I was going to allow made up fear stop me. And the fear's real, right? It's in the body. Like, it was happening. It was manifesting as real. It felt very real. But I don't know. It just feels like, that's what I mean by it just feels like manifestations, or like sometimes they show up as opportunities for you to choose what you say you want. And that's what it felt like it was for me. And so, forewarning, they might be coming in for you. Don't say no to them. Say, yes, I embrace this. Yes, I transcend the fear that comes with it. That way I can anchor myself in at this more expanded state. And that's that on that. Okay? Thanks for listening to that story. Now, let's see if there's any channeled information that wants to come through. What do we have questions about? Let's see first. We will move forward with a message for the collective. We are the 9th dimensional Pleiadians. We hold you all very dear to our hearts. Oh, they're showing me that turtle. They're like, wasn't that turtle funny? Because my symbol, here's another aside. God, I'm not. It's okay, Kayla. This is how you are. Don't argue it. If you're someone who's watching this and you're trying to work on your connection with spirit guides, with higher dimensional beings, etc., set up symbols. Because in the third eye, if you see the actual beings, it can be quite startling. And you actually sometimes like physically can't, like it's, your nervous system wouldn't allow it. So for me, I have symbols that I set up a long time ago for the different energies or beings that I was working with. The Pleiadians were turtles. So that's funny. Okay, sorry. The message we would like to share is around the ability for each of you to step further into your understandings of yourselves as divine beings of light. The magnitude of light, of love that you carry within you is beyond your current measuring ability. It would behoove each of you to sit within your bigness, sit within your energy when it is at its maximum divinity. Allow yourself to expand into the higher self version of you. Allow yourself to simply become that version of you through visualization, through energetic feeling, through simply saying it aloud. And sit in the energy. Feel what it feels like to resonate there. This is going to be supportive for each of you in attracting in these opportunities that were aforementioned and in feeling confident enough to step into them in a realistic way. We are eager for each of you to begin your destiny paths as they are introduced to you in the coming years. You will feel far more fulfilled. You will feel a level of the word is pleasure. I don't know why I felt, do I have internalized shame about sex? Question mark. More pleasure than you have experienced thus far simply by living, simply by being alive. This is the trajectory that your planet is on at this time, and whether you are someone who has been following this path thus far or not, we are eager for you to step further into an authentic expression of self. This, we feel, is something that we can all agree on as important for the collective, no matter what your beliefs are surrounding this quote-unquote ascension. Hang on, is this for... Oh, no, this is... Oh! They would like to bring through an activation for those who are interested in it. They're saying they're conscious of what I was saying about, like, I don't really know who this audience is for. And so they're saying if you're just interested and you don't want it to be interested, just set the intention to not receive. If you are actually wanting it, set the intention to receive. Like, you get to control what comes in and out of your vessel, your energetic field. That's how energy works. You are a sovereign being, and we are remembering that at this time. What they're showing this is going to be for is letting go of the past ways of being that are controlling or keeping you small. So this might be more of like a clearing. Ortish grasakash kritis iolo tortush groto orte kratas al bash grasiki sorotush groto ortetal groto soroteshiti isiala de grasal Ushkrusu as artish grataka artush oaya ishiala de grasas orto os oaye ushkrusu rotish gratiki is ia ortush o al as asarte grataka artush o as asarte gratishiki e. This is releasing the heart. Excuse me, that happens sometimes. Ukrusu ortus o ai ikia artes o alates grata artes groto orteshi us u ai as grata artes o alata grasa as orto os oa ishia lata gratas artes kush orto os oaia urtes grasal shus ukrutu sortus grutu ortes gratas arte gratishi is ialate grasa ko ortus ortetal Ortes grasa arte grasa arte os orto groto os orte tis grati is ialete grasa ka os orto oaia. Us grus sorte tis grasal o groto ortes grati isha mbaktarase. Take a deep breath. They're saying we are in awe of each and every one of you. And we hold so much reverence for you within our hearts. We do ask for you to bear witness to the magnitude of who you are yourself. Like, basically, they're like, we want you to see you the way we see you. They're saying this can be done through the aforementioned technique of sitting within your bigness, sitting within the resonance, the frequency of your full truth, your higher self. Okay, thank you so much, our Pleiadian friends. That was beautiful, lovely, loved it. I'm gonna call it quits there. I don't know what this was. If you are watching this far, thank you so much. Let's have fun on this journey together of figuring out how the heck we're showing up, how the heck we're doing this. Because like I mentioned, and we'll talk about this in future ones of whatever this is, I quit my job. This is my full-time job. I've been apprehensive to know, I haven't known how to move forward. And this feels like the best way to move forward is to talk it out to myself in a camera. So that's what we're doing. And along the way, we're going to bring through channeled information. Along the way, we're going to have some laughs. Along the way, we're just going to be freaking humans together. All right. If you liked the channeled portion of this, visit my website, professionalvibebringer.com, to book a one-on-one, or you can go to my Patreon where we do like collective things like this, 2 different tiers. I need to update the descriptions on them. You see what I mean, guys? We have a lot of work to do, okay? And I'm finally no longer letting my wounded masculine keep me from doing the work that is required to get this out there so that we can work together. Some of us have contracts, you guys. That's another topic. Hey, obviously I don't think anyone's really gonna watch this. If you have a topic you'd like me to talk about, let's just get that out there now. Kayla, embody it. You're gonna have people that wanna hear from you. That's called manifesting. All right, love you, bye.